we need to learn a few basics of Photoshop. Much as Photoshop has got some awesome tools, there's some basic ideas we need to get right. Selection and layers and things like that. So I have put this file we're going to work with up on Google Classroom. If you click it, you can see it's a picture I took of a gannet at Mudawai. This image, if you download it as it is not high enough resolution. This is basically a preview that Google Classroom has done. It is not high enough quality for us to do what we want to do. So what you need to do is click this dot 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 over on the right here and open in new window. And this now gives us the full resolution image. It looks the same, but it's much higher quality. Click the download button and that will put that into your downloads folder. And then you can drag that from your downloads folder into your documents folder or wherever you want to work. So in Photoshop now, I can open that, add an image, browse to wherever I saved it. I've still stayed in my downloads folder. You should save it in your documents folder, be organized. And before we do anything else, I just want to do one extra detail thing. You need to go down here into this layers window, more on that later. Right click on the background layer and say layer from background, click OK. And that's just a detail that means that when we do any selection, it will give us some transparent background. Now, we need to be able to zoom in a little bit. Hold down the Alt key on your keyboard. If you look, it's next to the space bar. Hold down the Alt key and use your mouse wheel to zoom in a bit. Then, over here on the right, there's a bunch, this is the toolbar, and it has got a bunch of hidden options. If you click and hold on this one, you can see I've got Quick Selection Tool, Magic Wand Tool, Object Selection Tool. Object Selection Tool is great, we will be using it, but I'm just going Quick Selection Tool for the moment. That's the tool we're going to use. You'll see there are other tools available as well that do selection, but we're just going with a Quick Selection Tool for now. And the Quick Selection Tool gives me this funny looking cursor. If I use the square bracket on my keyboard, have a look, you can see I can resize that cursor. And it's basically just going to, as I click and drag around, it's going to select everything that is like what I have currently got my mouse over. So I've clicked there and it's selected everything that looks much the same. And if I click and drag around a little bit, it is cunningly selecting stuff that is much the same. Get this out of the way. And I can add some more stuff here. And it's doing really well, but you can see here it has made a mistake. If I zoom in, we can see it has inadvertently selected the shadow. So if I hold down again the Alt key on my keyboard without scrolling the wheel, I don't know if you can see, but my cursor goes from being a plus to a minus. And that means I'm going to be subtracting from the selection. So I'm just going to go into that shadow and it's worked out. Now this bit here I'm going to zoom in on, and we can see this is still wrong. My cursor is far too big, so I'm going to make it a bit smaller, and I'm just going to click around this bit and try and make it exactly what I want. I can even zoom in more than that if I want to, and make my cursor even smaller and select all of these bits, just trying to make sure I don't get the shadow at all. Okay, we'll find other tools that will do a similar kind of job in a bit. And then if I just zoom out again, we can see we got it just right down there. But actually we've missed a whole feather here, haven't we? So actually, and then there's a bit of trial and error involved in this. It's really hard here because there's no line between the shadow and this feather. So it's just very, very hard to get this bit right. There are tools that can help us. We'll come to that in good time. Anyway, we zoom out. Let's have a look at our guy. Mostly good. We can just add in the beak. We do need to make sure we don't get to the ground behind him, so I hold down the Alt key and remove that. Include more beak. And basically that's your job, is to select as much gannet as you can. Now if I go Control X at this point, that's not quite what I wanted. I wanted to remove the background. So I'm going to Control Z and I'm going to go to Select Menu up here and Inverse. Now it looks exactly the same, but I've inverted the selection. So the bird is no longer selected, the background is selected. So if I go Control X, you can see I've still got quite a bit of work to do refining my selection. But there you go, that's some basics that I want you to get right to begin with, is opening a file in Photoshop and then using the quick select tool to select an object.